On the topic of, addiction medicine recovery, I'd love to hear how you even got into working in the addiction space.
My best friend actually succumbed to opioid overuse disorder while I was still in nursing school. So I still hadn't, I was actually my first year in nursing school. She was already a nurse. And it was before we called it an overdose. Her cause of death is actually respiratory depression, but it was caused because she had unfortunately become dependent on morphine and she had just taken too much, and unfortunately she wasn't found until the next morning. So that realization that, because obviously she and I used to hang out a lot, and that when you're younger, of course, I'm not going to say I've never had a drink, right? At
Hmm.
21, of course, no, that's something that's not part of my life now, but saying that in the past, that's somebody that I had gone out with, and it struck home to me that if this brilliant nurse that like inspired me and like helped mentor me could succumb to this, it was not there's this misconception that it's a personal failing or etc. And I think that's really a leftover from the 80s war on drugs, and we were all kind of, if you're old enough to be from that era, it was baked into you, right? That these misconceptions that now we know aren't true. But just number one, in her honor, but number two, the only reason I'm on this side of the screen and not the other is just because of a series of choices that were made in life, or genetics, or other factors, because it could very well be any of us that are sitting here
Hmm.
today that are lucky enough to not have a substance use disorder, that life could have gone a different way, with just a few different changes in our trajectories, if that makes sense.